Hello everyone, it's good to see you again. I can't believe that another week has already flown by and it's nearly half term. Only 2 weeks left to go. The time really is flying by now. The children in school that have been in our key worker provision have put in a special request, and I thought I'd honour their special request today by sharing a maths story. I know lots of you have also commented that you're enjoying the Maths 24 challenges and are really getting along with your maths home learning really nicely. So I thought today I would share a math story all about fractions, because lots and lots of you have been learning about fractions this half term, and decimals, and even in year 6 percentages now. So I thought it would be a good one to share. It is quite a long one, so sit back, relax, get comfortable, and let's enjoy the story. It is called Fractions in Disguise, and it's a maths adventure. Here we go. Some kids collect baseball cards, some collect action figures. Me, I collect fractions. I've been collecting them for exactly 2/3 of my life. In my bedroom, shelves full of fractions cover 3/4 of the walls. Maybe it's because I was born during a half moon. Or maybe it's because I'm a quarter genius, a quarter stubborn, a third determined, and 1/6 crazy. But for me, it all adds up to one thing. I just can't get enough of those darn fractions. I wonder how many of you like fractions. So, when a brand new 5/9 went up for auction, you know I was first in line to buy it. The 5/9 is a thing of beauty. When you first look at it, it looks like a half, but the more you look, the more you realize it's just a little bit more. The room was filled with the regular customers, Baron von Mathematic, Madame Geometric, and the mysterious Dr. Brock, a former university professor rumoured to have been fired for the illegal possession of a 4/0, or 4 holes. I bid $500,000. Madame Geometric bid $750,000. Baron von Mathematic bid $7/8 Our bids were clearly approaching $1 million. Would we ever reach it? Suddenly, we found ourselves in darkness. "There's foul play, aloof," cried the Baron. His fears proved true. When the lights went back on, the 5/9 was nowhere to be seen. Neither was Dr. Brock. "Alas, he's stolen it!" exclaimed Baron von Mathematic. "He never gets his fractions fair and square," agreed Madame Geometric. Not very nice from Dr. Brock. "But how can he hope to hide it?" I asked. "He is a master of disguise, Mr. Factor," Madame Geometric explained. "He can take a half and turn it into 2/4 or a 3/6. It's still the same fraction, but it looks different." Some of you will know what those kinds of fractions are called. "So am I to understand that he could take a 3/5, I began, multiply the 3/4 and the 5/4, continued Madame Geometric, and have something that looks like 12/20? I concluded. "But it's still 3/5 really," Madame Geometric agreed. "He just doesn't want you to know it." "My poor beautiful fraction," wailed Baron von Mathematic. "Don't despair," I said. "I have an idea." I wonder what the idea could be. That night I worked until dawn. By morning I had what I needed. A reducer. What is a reducer? It's a half ray gun and half calculator, made from a whole lot of paper clips, a whisk, some discarded computer parts, and sheer ingenuity. What does it do? It removes the disguise from a fraction and reduces it to its lowest terms. I'm sure some of you are thinking, I've heard of that in maths before. I tested it out that morning. For a long time I had owned a 10/15, but I suspected that it could be another fraction in disguise. I pointed the reducer at it and dialed a 2. The top number, or the numerator, as we call it in the trade, wavered, trying to turn into a 5, but the bottom number, or denominator, stayed the same. I dialed a 3, and the denominator tried to transform into a 5, but the numerator wouldn't budge. I dialed a 4, and nothing happened. Finally, I dialed a 5. The fraction changed completely. The 10 became a 2, and the 15 became a 3, leaving me with a sleek 2/3. The reducer was ready to go. What a clever tool that reducer is. Dr. Brock lived in a mansion that had to be 1/10 of a mile tall. When I rang the doorbell, he opened the door halfway. "Let me in, doctor," I told him. "I know you have the 5/9 in there, and I'm going to find it." Come in, he purred. "Take a look around. You'll see no 5/9 in here." I went in. There were fractions everywhere, piled on shelves, bursting from cupboards, covering the floor. There was even an enormous 100/100 hanging from the ceiling. Quickly, I spotted my first fraud. "That 3/21, I said. "It's really a 1/7, isn't it?" I pointed my reducer at the fraction and dialed a 3. Both the numerator and the denominator were divided, and now I had a 1/7 before me, as I had suspected. "That's a very interesting device you have there," commented Dr. Brock, eyeing the reducer nervously. "Ingenious, really." I'm sure he's plotting something, don't you think? I spotted another suspicious fraction. Could that be the 5/9 in disguise? It was 34/63, and it looked familiar. I dialed a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nothing seemed to work. "You can't reduce that one," said Dr. Brock. "That fraction's already reduced to its lowest terms, I'm afraid." He was smiling in secret satisfaction as he said it, but he was right. That fraction was as reduced as it could be. Some of you will know that that's called its simplest form. I found a few more fractions that could be reduced. An 8/10 became a 4/5, a 2/16 became a 1/8, and 11/22 became a half, but no 5/9. I even looked through the garbage full of old fractions and fraction pieces so small that they were worthless. I found a piece from a 1/28 and a 1/63 and a 1/92. The 5/9 was nowhere to be seen. There was something I was missing. "Well, it was nice of you to visit," Dr. Brock began saying. "I would invite you to stay longer, but I was just about to polish all my This 1/63, where did it come from?" I interrupted. "It's just an old broken fraction," spluttered Mr. Brock, or Dr. Brock rather. Quickly, I raced back to the 34/63. The tiny 1/63 fit perfectly into it, making the fraction a 35/63. This was a fraction that could be reduced. "Wait, no!" cried Dr. Brock. But it was too late. I had already pointed the reducer and dialed a 7. The 35 divided and became a 5, while the 63 divided and became a 9. There it was, right in front of me, the 5/9 I had been looking for. "Very clever," Dr. Brock said with a sneer. "I didn't think you had it in you." He raced up the stairs and unhooked a rope. Suddenly, The 100 over 100 above me began falling, all 100 pieces of it looking like daggers. I dialed the reducer up to 100, aimed high, and jumped for cover. Have a think about what might happen. A solid disc landed with a clatter and rolled away. The 100 over 100 had become a single whole, no longer a fraction at all. But Dr. Brock was gone. Baron von Mathematic and Madame de Geometric couldn't believe it when I told them the story. You did it, Mr. Factor, the Baron cried, saluting me. The fraction is yours, said Madame de Geometric. You earned it. I put it in the most prominent place on my top shelf, right next to the reducer. Now, every morning when dawn comes, the first ray of light through my window lands right on the 5/9. It doesn't look half bad. And that is the end of Fractions in Disguise. I hope you enjoyed the story. It's a little bit of fun to do with fractions. I hope you learned something too, maybe some mathematical terms like numerator, denominator, reducing, simplifying. I'm sure some of you that are a little bit older also picked up on some of the fraction jokes about fractions being equivalent, or how the main character was able to reduce fractions to find what was hiding underneath. So yes, I hope it helps you learn a bit more about fractions and to maybe remember some of those math terms a little bit more. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.